Welcome back to Summit Sunrise. Good morning. I am joined with the one and only Jim Tillich of Breck Fine Art Gallery. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's always so much fun to have you on because we get to travel to vast expanses of the world from right here in our studio.
Yes, I get art from all over the world and have it right there in the Breck Fine Art Gallery, 421 South Main. And people are coming in, you know, there's a little bit of time in the afternoons and they come in and we give them a history lesson.
Oh, and it's a fabulous place to do that. And speaking of history lessons, I want to get right to what we're talking about today because this piece is so phenomenal and the story behind it is incredible. There you are with it. So tell us everything.
Okay, so sitting on the right hand side, this is the big piece of art. As you can see, it's like 6 feet by 7.5 feet or 8 feet.
Right.
It's big, very colorful. It's a Russian masterpiece. It's done by Trofimenko, the great painter.
Okay.
So that's Rachmaninoff at the piano. And then standing behind him is Shaliapin, one of the greatest singers, opera singers of all time.
Okay.
A very interesting man. Had his own character, and obviously Rachmaninoff was very, very special also.
Right.
One of the great pianists
very
and
famous.
great composers of all time. So the two of them were great friends.
Okay.
This was 1904.
Turn of the century.
They were trying to save the Russians from the Russian Revolution. They were trying to forestall it. They wanted a social democracy to come out of the 1917 revolution, not a communistic, bureaucratic type situation.
Okay.
So with them was Maxim Gorky.
There he is sitting.
On the right-hand side, yes. So the three of them had great influence, and now they stood on the edge of that rug facing us, and they would give lectures to the people sitting where we're sitting.
I see, okay.
So the intelligentsia would meet. These three would give a lecture, but in line and in tone with the Russian character. They would also sing and play and quote poetry during the intermission.
Oh my gosh.
It was a big deal.
What a cool thing.
So they used their skill like a movie star would today.
Right.
Show up, make a political statement and leave or whatever.
Right.
Well, these were taking the lead.
I see.
And so they were very important people in Russian history. So
they were influencers.
They were. See, in the States, we would get together and we'd talk about the Green Bay Packers and how they're going to beat the Dallas Cowboys or whatever it is. Well, in Russia, even to this day, people get together and they sing. They play music.
Okay.
They will entertain their guests. And they put, when they serve you food, they put everything in the world on the table. You could never eat it all. You know, 20 people couldn't eat all this. There's two of you there. Very, very hospitable.
So, more about this painting, you know, so you get the hospitality and the influencers here, and it's, I mean, it really seems like a kind of a meeting of the minds, if you will. And because this piece is so large, you were able to bring this over from Russia, and it took you 2 years?
Took almost 2 years to get it out because you have to do it all legally and go through the channels. And the way that I was able to get it out was I do highlight Russian art.
Right.
Because, see, they have a great amount of skill that's been developed over 300 years. 300 years ago, Peter the Great started bringing every famous artist to Russia to train the Russian artists. So they became exceptionally talented and highly trained.
So because of Peter the Great, they focused on their art. Which,
yes.
I mean, this all is making so much sense. So much Russian culture that you know is really in everyday culture.
Everyday life.
Yeah, for everybody in the world.
I went to the opera in St. Petersburg. I had a free evening, went to the opera, sat there. On one side of me was a lady with more jewelry than most jewelry stores have.
Oh, I can imagine. She was dripping.
And on this side of me was basically a street sweeper and his wife.
So
all together watching the opera at the Bolshoi Theater. Well, and see, the point of that is it's a part of Russian culture to understand literature, art, and so forth. There are other things that don't work that well in their country, but culturally they're very elite, and it is surprising.
And so it surpasses class.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
So this piece of art was put on a truck, taken around the countryside, so people in the countryside, even though they weren't able to get into Moscow or St. Petersburg to see it, they could see it at a traveling show, just like Rachmaninoff and the others would go to various places and play and sing. And
so it was brought to them.
It was brought to them. And sometimes the artist would paint 3 of a piece of art so it could get out across Russia. Russia's 11 time zones long.
Huge, I know.
Anyway, so this is a very important piece. I put it in shows. The last show that it was in was for, basically for some Hollywood producers, so they could see it, talk about it. And see, this is a great impressionistic piece. It's not photorealism. It's relaxed impressionism with beautiful colors.
It is beautiful color, and this is displayed. I love when you walk into Breck Fine Art Gallery because it is right there, and you can see it. It's beautifully lit, and it takes up a ton of room. It's huge.
It's so large. And what happens is the Russians, many Russians know us here. They come to see it. They come to visit it because it's their culture.
Right.
And they'll stand in front of it because it's up on that great big wall. And they'll look, and honestly, they'll cry, and they shed tears of nostalgia, and they all say, I've seen this piece of art since I was a little child, and here it is for the world to see. They're very happy about it.
Jim, where are you located again?
421 South Main.
Okay.
Right at the end of Main Street at Park.
Perfect.
Right on the corner.
Well, I could talk to you for hours, so thank you so much for coming in and chatting about this very special piece. Folks, you can visit Jim and the Breck Fine Art Gallery. They're there 7 days a week.
Right.
Thank you very much for joining me this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back with more Summit Sunrise right after this.